Alright, so hi guys. It's time for my update on my Pantos Eyeshadows challenge. So let's begin. Okay, so to start, first with the Sultry, of course. This was a wild card. I just put it here just for the sake of using this shadow. And of course, this is the fresh one. I have used this a little bit. You can definitely see a little bit of like usage on the pan, but definitely very far from hitting pan, but that's okay. It's leading me to use more of my Sultry. Like yesterday I did a makeup. I didn't know what I wanted to do, what makeup, what color scheme I was going to do, but then I just for the first step of eyeshadow I just used this one, and then since I couldn't decide, I just decided to use this palette all the way, and I used Bloom and Rose Quartz. So definitely a good idea to bring in a wild card from this palette. So it's a very slow and steady progress, but that's okay. So I'm gonna keep fresh still because I'm enjoying using the products. So it's this one, you can even tell, the one from the ABH Prism palette. Okay, oh, it's quite dirty because I used this earlier to create this look. So let me just wipe it because I don't want this to go all over my clothes. But yeah, you can see, you just saw the fallout that sphere creates every time I use it. Even though I try to pack on sphere on my eyes, it's still very powdery, and it does not coat my eyelids enough. So I really have to build it up, and in building it up I get a lot of kickback. So that's what you saw earlier. And yeah, and because of that I have increased the pan size a little bit in sphere. Before you couldn't see the what do you call that, like the excess, the like the dot, metallic dot in the pan. Before you can only see the one in the middle, but now you can see the ones on top and on the bottom. So I've been using this together with Saturn just to create like this muted orange crease shade. And then sometimes I would also use sphere all over my lids, and then I'll use my finger and apply lucid on top of it, so it just enhances like the yellow tinge of lucid when put on top of sphere. So that's how I've been using sphere. And also, since I have been using Saturn and sphere, I have kind of worn down the pan in Saturn as well, because before I've been using Saturn mostly as an eyeliner, so my pan was very focused. I would just use a pencil brush. Where is it? I would just use something like this, and then just focus in the center of the pan and just use it to line my eyes. So that's how I hit pan on Saturn originally. But because of that, the products just around the pan before was full. But now, since I've been using this more as a transition shade, of course I'm using a bigger brush, and because of that I have worn down a little bit of the product here on the sides. I was aiming to at least widen the pan before I do this update, but I've delayed it as much as I can, and still you couldn't really see the increase in the pan size. There's a little bit, but not much. But definitely in the next update I can see the pan size at least increasing. Still far from hitting side pan, but with Saturn, like the most challenging shade for me, because I just don't wear like very warm oranges, but for Saturn I'll take it. So I'm keeping these two together. I still enjoy using this. So I like using these two together for what they call the transition shade. But the problem sometimes is that I kinda I don't get the proper ratio of mixing them together. So for example, today this eye is darker than this one because I put more Saturn than Sphere, but that's okay. It's a part of the process. It's part of like the makeup. It's part of getting ready, and that's what I like most with wearing makeup. I like wearing makeup, but I really enjoy the process of putting makeup. And then the other two shades are from my Z palette. So this one, I've used it, but since I've been using the Prism palette more and more, I just reached for this around 3 times. I've worn down a little bit on the sides, but definitely no progress. So I'm keeping this. This shade is Pulling Strings. So still, I'm gonna keep this. The most progress perhaps is from my last shadow for my quintet, and it is this one from the Zoeva Cocoa Blend palette, and this is the shade Subtle Blend. So you can see I have been trying to hit side pan on this one, which is also another reason why I delayed doing this update, but I just couldn't hit pan on it on time. But I have been using this almost like 4 times a week. Every time I have class, I would put this on either as an one shadow eyeshadow, or just to define my lash line. But I always try to use that because I was aiming to hit side pan on this, but unfortunately I couldn't. But definitely you can see the progress from the last update to now. This pan size has increased drastically. So definitely on my next update, I will hit pan on this, I swear. So I'm keeping this one. So obviously I have the same quintet as last time. There's not a lot of progress in some, but there are a lot of progress in the others. So that's good. This is a slow month in terms of my Pandos eyeshadows update, but usually when there's a slow month, the next month will have a lot of like progress. So kind of excited for October actually. But yeah, this is kind of like a filler update only because I'm still keeping the same quintet as last time, but it's okay. That's part of the fun of the project. But yeah, that's it guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video.